Hi, my name is Ruth Holden and this is my concert pedal harp. It's about 100 years old and it has 47 strings. 3/4 of the strings are made from gut and the bottom quarter are made from steel. The shorter the string, the higher the sound. The longer the string, the lower the sound. It has a range of about 6.5 octaves, which is slightly less than a piano has, but we read our music in the same way that a pianist would, with the right hand playing in the treble clef and the left hand playing in the bass clef. As a visual guide, we have different coloured strings. The red strings are Cs and the black strings are the Fs. A very important thing that a harp needs to do is to change key, and we do that rather a lot. We change key by pressing down any of the 7 pedals at the base of the instrument. Each pedal is named after one note of the scale. I've got my foot on the D pedal at the moment, and at the moment also it'll be in flat. If I press it down, it'll go into natural. If I press it down again, it goes into sharp. So it's sharpening and flattening it by a semitone each time. And how this happens is the pedals activate rods that run up the column of the harp and plates that run down the neck of the harp. And then these turn these little discs here. And I'll just show you how they work. You can see them actually turning around. So they're pinching on the strings. In harp playing, we never use our little finger. And when we play chords, you can see that our little finger would not be able to extend further down and play. It's just not long enough. So chords have to be written with 4 notes in each hand, like this. And also, when we play arpeggios, it's always runs of 4 notes. Another technique we use on the harp are harmonics. We pluck them and play them at the same time, approximately halfway up the string, and it sounds an octave above. Those harmonics are from an extract by Stravinsky in the Firebird Suite. If we're to play harmonics in the right hand, we play them in a slightly different way. We would normally position our hands halfway in the strings to get maximum resonance. But sometimes we're asked to give different effects. And one of these effects is près de la table, and it's notated as PDLT. And we place the fingers much lower near the soundboard. And you can hear that it makes a guitar-like sound and a drier sound. Another effect we can use is by using our nails to pluck the string. And that gives it a more metallic kind of sound. You could do the nail near to the soundboard, which totally alters the sound of the note. A more modern technique is to hold onto the string at the top and to bend it. So you play the string, extending on from glissandos, we can also hit the harp with the back of our hand. Another technique we use is called a bisbigliando, which means whisper in Italian. And we just repeatedly play the notes, left hand and right hand alternately. The famous technique you can do on the harp is the glissando, and you can really go to town with these, and some composers really do. And this gives it the really heavenly image that the harp is so famous for. The role of the harp in the orchestra. We don't really fit into any category in the orchestra. It is a completely unique instrument. It's kind of got strings, but we don't really belong to the string sections. But it's also a little bit percussive, but we don't belong to the percussion section either. Sometimes there are two harps in the orchestra, and sometimes there are only one. And it's only really from composers like Berlioz onwards that the harp was involved in orchestral writing. So composers like Beethoven and Mozart, there's no harp in any of those pieces. The French composers wrote really well for the harp. They had a really good understanding of the instrument, and this was mainly because they used to study with harpists and other harpists that would compose and would help at say, the Paris Conservatoire. So they had people like Rouvali and Debussy had a really strong understanding of how the harp needed to be written for, and it makes it much easier and satisfying for us to play those pieces. This instrument is about 100 years old. It was made between about 1920 and 1930 in Chicago by the Wurlitzer Company. The Wurlitzer Company weren't famous for making harps. They would have employed a harp maker from a company called Lyon & Healy. I think they made other instruments as well, and they just wanted to develop their instrument repertoire. Unfortunately, the documents were destroyed in a fire by Wurlitzer, and we're unable to prove who originally would have bought this instrument, but the rumour was that it possibly would have been one of Harpo Marx's instruments. He would probably have had quite a few instruments, so I don't want to say that it would have been his special one, and I have done a little bit of research to see on pictures to see if the carvings at the top match them, but as yet I've not found anything. One of the questions that get asked a lot is, why did I choose the harp? And I don't really know why I chose the harp. It was just something I always wanted to do. From about 6, I just remember always saying that I was going to play a gold harp one day, and here I am now, and I do play one. The reason I like playing the harp is because of its unique sound, and it is a really unique instrument. You get a lot of attention when you play the harp. A lot of people want to look at the instrument, and they also want to watch you play. It's just the chords and everything you can play. It's just such a resonant, lovely instrument. And the repertoire is really nice as well. Some great pieces written for the instrument. And I just like the French music and the way it sounds and the way it's been composed for.
If you've enjoyed learning about the instruments in the orchestra, why not try our iPad app, The Orchestra, featuring Esa-Pekka Salonen and the Philharmonia Orchestra. Fully interactive video playback lets you view the orchestra from all angles, and the revolutionary beat map shows you who is playing when. Follow along with synchronized scores. Hear the inside scoop in audio commentaries, and get a 360-degree view of all the instruments. Available for download in the App Store on iTunes.